Now that the new Boruto timeskip has finally happened and it lasted a pretty long time of 3 years, the biggest question we now have is how strong both Boruto and Kawaki have become. A big mistake we can make is comparing their power levels to those during the Naruto timeskip. Father and son both had approximately 3 years. So it's tempting to say that because Naruto became much stronger, Boruto will also become that much stronger, plus maybe a bit more since he's generally more talented and gifted, and has Sasuke as a teacher who was himself taught by Orochimaru. I definitely understand that, but the reality is different. Both Sasuke and Jiraiya might have trained the same bloodline, but the difference is that one of them was training a mere human and the other was training an alien. Boruto is no longer human and therefore he didn't train like a human. So the progress curve of Boruto compared to Naruto is not linear in any way, so not just steeper but generally quite different. At least exponentially. Right now Boruto could probably win the entire ninja war all by himself. I think you get the idea where the power level is heading. Although Boruto did say that as long as he's alive the shinobi era is not finished. This hints at the fact that he refuses to solely rely on his otsutsuki powers. He trained a lot in ninja techniques because Sasuke is a shinobi himself. What else is he supposed to teach him besides the ice abilities? And for an otsutsuki to know ninjutsu isn't a bad thing if they are limited to only a certain amount of shinjutsu. This was proven by the fact that they all have different shinjutsus and don't use a broad variety of common shinjutsus overall. I think the most common shinjutsu is absorption and those red rods they can create. Oh, and probably flying. I don't know, maybe there are a few other things, but you get the idea. Ninjutsu isn't stronger, but based on situations, it's just more reliable if you have the skills. Which Boruto now definitely has. But Boruto knows perfectly well that with ninjutsu he can't defeat Kawaki, who's focusing only on shinjutsu. Because unlike Boruto, he's not restricted in his otsutsuki abilities. Ninjutsu only helps him if he can't fully use Ishiki's power and or if his opponent is as skilled in shinjutsu as he is. It looked like Kawaki instantly inherited the abilities of Ishiki and is quite talented in using them. And based on the number of those things on his eye, it's evident that he maximized this ability all by himself, so yeah, theoretically Kawaki is also stronger than Ishiki ever was, besides the moment before Kaguya betrayed him, that is, with his original body. The problem with Boruto, however, is that his otsutsukification, although complete, is still somehow limited because he's neither fully reincarnated unless he somehow did it during the time skip, which I highly doubt, nor is Momoshiki dead, and Momoshiki is not a good help for Boruto either. So it might well be that Kawaki, due to his own circumstances, has an easier time controlling his otsutsuki power because it's only his. Boruto, however, must share that with Momoshiki, who's not helping at all. So in a way, Boruto will need someone who can guide him and know how shinjutsu work and how to control Momoshiki and all that stuff. All the otsutsuki stuff. The only other person who's probably still alive, and I believe for a reason, is Kaguya, who I believe will become more relevant in the future of this series, which is why she was highlighted in one of the Boruto anime openings. Simply because it was already decided that Boruto would happen before Kaguya appeared. She was basically the gateway to the Boruto plot. So there must be a reason why they sealed Kaguya but killed Ishiki. Why was it important that Kaguya survived? The idea could be that Sasuke and Boruto both reach the level of power together with which they can defeat Kaguya or seal her or whatever prevents her from doing any damage to anyone else, and simply explain the situation. This shouldn't be much of a problem because at this point Boruto is probably stronger anyway. The following is very important to understand why Boruto needs Kaguya and why Kaguya will help. She isn't inherently evil. I think her problem is her mortality and experience on Earth. Humans are difficult. If you live with them long enough and get betrayed a few times, then trouble is going to happen. Kaguya did make people suffer, but it was all for the sake of the planet. If she hadn't taught chakra and given her powers to others, then eventually the other Otsutsukis would have come and killed her and harvested the planet. So she harvested the planet herself in the most limited way that she felt was necessary. Why do you believe her tree didn't grow beyond a certain point? Why did she demand volunteered sacrifices instead of solely forcing everyone to give their lives away? She went as far as necessary to provide the best possible life to people while at the same time using them so that they could one day protect themselves. Otherwise she wouldn't have trained her kids. Kaguya is not the villain. If anything, she's the entire hero of the show. Ishiki would have harvested the planet. She was the one who stopped it. Nobody really understood her, and then her own children sealed her away. The thing is, the only reason why they defeated Momoshiki is because Kaguya prepared them. them. Now that Momoshiki is here and the proof is literally Boruto, she will understand that no preparation is needed any longer. Sasuke has learned everything from her scrolls, it's all confirmed, so Sasuke knows that if they free her now, with her seeing Boruto as Momoshiki and on top of that is weaker than him, then she has no other choice but to cooperate. She might have extreme methods, but she's not an idiot. She has a functional brain. She knows that Kawaki plans harm and that the other Otsutsukis will arrive at some point. Because killing an Otsutsuki is the biggest crime. This didn't stop on Earth. She wasn't the last one who killed an Otsutsuki. Or tried to kill an Otsutsuki. The humans finished the job. So logically there will be more. They literally arrived because they believed that Kaguya killed Ishiki. And now the humans killed Ishiki. So yes, it will continue. That's the whole plot of Boruto. Humans versus Otsutsukis. Everything else is a distraction. So during the time skip, Kaguya might have been freed, imprisoned in a dimension where she and Boruto have trained all the time. So that he could learn the necessary knowledge of being an Otsutsuki. Something she couldn't even teach her children. All the things no one will voluntarily tell Boruto. But this is really a huge topic and I will make a separate video about that very soon. For now, let's assume Boruto found a way to understand his Otsutsuki powers, be it with a master, knowledge from a scroll or from other dimensions, whatever. The best indication to determine how strong Boruto has become is to understand how strong he must have gotten so that he can become the hero of the story. Logical. The first milestone is the immediate danger, that is Kawaki. Boruto is definitely not afraid of Kawaki anymore. He literally just entered Konoha like, I don't give a shit. And I believe Kawaki might already be more powerful than Ishiki simply because that's how time skips work. He inherited everything Ishiki had but with a healthy body, and the plot armor of one of the main characters. So the same must be the case with Boruto, but because he's still limited, he also has the skill of a shinobi to compensate for that limitation, at least for the time being. But as is always the case with Shonen Jump manga series, the rival is rarely the main villain, no matter how it looks. There's always a common enemy that will emerge at some point, challenging both Kawaki and Boruto. It's way too early to assume that Kawaki is the main villain. Way too early. Kawaki still wants to protect the Earth, let's not mistake that. He's just really messed up, so the enemy must be at least as strong as Kawaki together with Boruto, and probably also every other human on Earth. It all points towards the idea that an Otsutsuki invasion is about to happen because no matter how many Otsutsukis arrive, if one after another is defeated, then the entire clan will at some point understand that there's a realistic threat in the universe that they need to get rid of as soon as possible before one of them gets the funny idea to become the only god in the universe. Oops, too late. Think about it, we have only seen a handful of Otsutsukis, when in reality there must be hundreds or thousands. And the whole Naruto and Boruto series must end at some point, unfortunately. So the Otsutsukis won't stop coming, and Shibai was possibly not even the strongest of them all. Because they're also the gods that are already proven to exist and might interfere with Boruto and Kawaki at some point. Because Kawaki doesn't plan to stop. He now knows about Shibai, so he knows about the gods. It's actually ridiculous if you think about it. The way the Boruto series has developed, they have no other choice but to make Boruto and Kawaki literal gods, to defeat other gods, and the threat that is about to emerge once Kinshiki has reincarnated in his vessel, and reports the chaos that is happening on Earth with humans walking around with Otsutsuki chakra. So let me say it like this, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and I'm not exaggerating right now, might be heading towards a Dragon Ball approach when it comes to powers. We don't know when it will stop, we can't know. We already have multidimensional beings and multiple gods. We have aliens. We even have reality manipulation. They can fly, move at light speed and create energy balls that they throw around. On top of that, they have legitimate powers that change the essence of mental and physical reality. It's completely unpredictable in what power directions the series is progressing, but it's not far-fetched to say that it might be the next Dragon Ball, and is already on the level of the early series. And I wouldn't be surprised that for that reason, certain people from this planet Earth will go into another dimension in order to fight the gods. Simply because they will fight on a level of power that Earth simply can't withstand. I mean, look at Konoha, both didn't even use their true powers yet and it's all over the place. Completely destroyed. If my theory is correct, then this fight isn't like the last fight between Naruto and Sasuke, but rather like the moment when Naruto and Sasuke first met after the long time skip. So that the true main villain will emerge once their fight is over, otherwise it will be too much of a Naruto copy even for a spin-off. So what do you think of this theory? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see more Boruto content, then subscribe to this channel for weekly Boruto content. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.